total opposite of frustration. Just euphoria in Munich. Another day, another stunning performance by Bayern. This is a 5-0 showing against Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf, a team that I've just been talking about, has been on a pretty good run. They've frustrated teams. They historically have frustrated Bayern. You look back at the reverse fixture, where Bayern kind of laid an egg, and I think it was kind of the Frankfurt effect. They still had it on their mind. They said, "Hey, we're a different team now." Davies back on the score sheet. Pavard, maybe my man of the match. Reaching a little bit, maybe. But
I mean,
the own goal one wasn't going to be a goal. He scores early, but it's an own goal to Dusseldorf. The ball wasn't going to go into the back of the net.
No, it wasn't.
Kimmich would have gotten the tap in, maybe. But still, I mean, he had a nice strike on it. And then obviously the other, great header there, just tucked that one away. So much to talk about. Lewandowski hadn't scored against Dusseldorf. Puts up the brace. He's now scored against every team that's currently in the league and a handful of teams that aren't even in the league. Yeah. Can you break down the tactics there? Like, how did Bayern get it done this week?
So big focus was obviously Hernandez and Boateng, the exchange there. So Hernandez gets the start, Boateng gets the rest. So you miss the long balls with Boateng, obviously, but the beauty of having Hernandez in there is his silky dribbling and his ability to, provide that left back role and attack. And so we see a lot of cycling in between Goretzka and Kimmich. So much of what Bayern does is play two center backs and then two wing backs. Those guys move up the pitch so high. So we'll see Goretzka or Kimmich sort of cycle through, make sure there's always somebody back there if Alaba or Hernandez decide to probe forward. Muller just sort of everywhere he needs to be, wherever he can get open. Kingsley took all kinds of hate for his crosses, but his ability to take people one-on-one.
I don't know if he's under on your video, but he's under me on this one. You just man to speak
He's above
up.
you. Oh, my bad. Apologies on your side. No,
Ollie, you weren't pleased with Kingsley.
He played well.
I'm not going to trash him. He did play well. It was almost like there was a moment that I don't talk about yet. It's just I feel like you can't connect every pass with a shot in the game, basically. I feel like, yeah, he played very well. It's just some things weren't clicking, unfortunately. I don't think he's not like any number one, but things just didn't follow through with him. And there was another moment that I was thinking of, oh, yeah, Alaba was in this game. He also had a pretty good match, and I remember late in the second half, I had to skip over something, but I feel like there was a point where he fed the ball really nicely to Muller, and unfortunately he happened to roof the ball a few feet over the top of the crossbar, and I feel like, yeah, they played, both Coman and Alaba played really well, but I feel like, yeah, there's just a few things where like maybe slight inefficiencies or just things that don't go your way, just have to limit what's on the paper, basically.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess at the end of the day, too, like you said, it's not his fault that Muller doesn't take that away. If you're feeding those balls, and I think that my criticism of Kingsley is not going to goal enough. I think that he's looking for the pass a little too much. I think with the injuries, he kind of took a toll on his confidence as far as goal scoring abilities. Because you remember, I think when he was at his peak Kingsley, which again I think is fairly low based on his ceiling. I think that he still has a long way that he can go if he can stay healthy. But he was going to goal a lot more, just more often, more efficiently.
I think they've inverted their wingers. So we've got Gnabry on the left more often, and Coman on the right. And Muller has a tendency to slide out right sometimes to try to get some of those crosses in. I think Coman obviously is hurting the most out of those three from being that guy on the right. I think he's a lot more comfortable sending in those crosses and taking people one-on-one from the left side of that field. It's just it's taken him a little bit longer. Obviously, he's had interruptions with injuries and everything. So he's sort of been the odd man out to be forced to move. Like when we see Perisic come in, Perisic goes to the left side. It's Gnabry seems to just be fine because he's just going to go for goal pretty much every time. That
Right.
man wants to score, right? I think Koeman would do better and has done better at that coming in from the left side.
But and I'm a huge Kingsley fan. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here, but even at the left, the efficiency just wasn't quite there for me.
No,
But
it's not quite there, but I think he is more comfortable on that side.
yeah, for sure. And I mean Davies continues to be, I think, pushing for competition of the wings. Another huge day for him. Gets on the score sheet again. I was just talking about his footwork. I remember I had seen him in the MLS Whitecaps. Watched a couple of games, and when the rumors had started about him coming to Bayern, I was like, okay, let me look up about this kid. I just remember he just outpaced everyone in the MLS. Like, didn't take any skill or anything, just really sprint up the entire pitch and score. And I was like, okay, the pace is there. But as far as the footwork, just the skilling, the passing, I was like, okay, that's going to be a bit of a question mark. The evolution has just been insane with this kid. Just insane, mind blowing. Yeah, I'm speechless. Honestly, I'm honestly speechless.
You know what he kind of reminds me of, with how quick he is and how difficult he is to guard in those tight spaces, because you're afraid of getting burned. It's kind of to me, it's a little bit like a young
Okay.
Allen Iverson.
I thought you were going to say
No, not even close. No, a young Allen Iverson, just lightning quick in small spaces. You have to back off, and so that gives him that half step of extra space to then accelerate in those tight spaces. You see him, being surrounded by 3 or 4 guys, and then it's 2 step overs and he's through all of them. So that's the comparison I found.
And the work rate to get the ball off too, because he was there fighting for a 50-50 ball. Could have gone for either way. He's just persistent. He takes it and then does his dirty work. Another one out for me is Leon, unsung hero there. He worked his tail off again in that game. When he's not on the score sheet, you're not going to hear a lot about him, but it continues a phenomenal run, to me at least. I do want to switch gears on the other side. I think that Dusseldorf, it's a tough day, but I really do think that they've found a system that's working for them. Eric Tommy's still having a lot of joy. Obviously, he didn't in this fixture, but I think he and Karaman still continue to do enough against those teams that they should beat, or the teams that maybe are 50-50, that I would still lean toward Dusseldorf. And I don't know. I counted them out, but still think there's a sliver of hope there. If this didn't knock out their confidence.
I don't think their confidence is going to be knocked out based on a game against Bayern.
Playing Bayern, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, they still look good. They look decent to me.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody who all season I've been begging for them to get relegated. So